Hello everyone, my name is James Junta. I am a certified hypnotherapist and I love my work. I have a little presentation for you today. I call this the 4 doors of perceptual hypnosis. This is actually a way that I approach my clients. It's how I do my work with clients. This comes up in sessions or sometimes with prospective clients who ask me, what are you going to do? What's your approach? How are you going to hypnotize me? So the 4 doors of perceptual hypnosis are 4 access points to transforming ourselves and others. Now, if you have never had a hypnosis session with a professional, you'll probably want to ask them what's your approach, because this approach I'm about to give you is my original take on it. You know, you can put 10 people through a hypnosis certification course. They're all going to come out with something different. They're all going to have a different approach, a different specialty. They might even have a different understanding of what hypnosis is and how it should be done. So this is my original take on the subject. You might not hear this anywhere else. If you are a hypnotist or a hypnosis student, you might like these ideas because they will give you more ways to create hypnotic inductions. A hypnotic induction is not something you read in a book. It's not a script. The hypnotic induction walks in with the client into your office. It's our duty to determine how our client sees the world and how they're operating within it, and then help them to transform the thing that they've been complaining about. So, getting right to the point, the 4 doors of perceptual hypnosis are thoughts, emotions, physical response, spiritual connection. Thoughts, emotions, physical response, spiritual connection. You know what thoughts are. You might think of them, another word for thoughts is ideas or concepts or understandings. Thoughts are the things that run through our mind automatically every day. It's always turned on in the background. Self-talk is another thing that we call thoughts. Thoughts are also things when you're intentionally seeking new information. If you're learning something, you're getting new thoughts or old thoughts, or you're associating the new thoughts with the old ones, inventing something new. Thoughts. Emotions, you know what emotions are. Those are things like happiness or sadness or anger or any of a range. They're on a spectrum going between love and fear. All of those emotions happen all the time, and they are associated with thoughts. And they're complicated. Sometimes if you ask a person to think about love, they might feel sad. Or they might have a memory, happy or sad memory. Or they might feel it in the body. Now, if they're feeling it in the body, that is a physical response to thoughts and emotions. But we also physically respond to a whole bunch of things. We physically respond to the environment, stimuli, memories, people, music, art. You might have a physical response. So physical response includes sensations, but it also includes behaviors, activities, habits. If you are intentionally exercising every day, that is a physical response, and you have been creating thoughts and emotions around that. You might not be consciously aware of it. You're probably not. But if exercise is difficult for you, or if you're just beginning, or if you want to begin, start to intentionally associate helpful thoughts and helpful emotions with that physical response of exercise and activity, okay? Now, the things that are naturally occurring to you, let's not talk about them as if they're good or bad. They're not good or bad. They are what is for you as a human. You can think of them in terms of being helpful or not helpful, useful or useless, but let's not put on the judgment of good or bad. It's already hard enough to do some transformation. Let's not make it harder by judging ourselves or judging others. Once you notice you're judging, just let go of it, okay? The 4th thing that I work with clients is spiritual connection. Now, spiritual connection can be the hardest thing. It depends on the client and it depends on you. If they are a person who are adamantly opposed to the idea that there is anything else other than what we can see and touch, it's going to be harder. I might leave that part out completely for them. If a person tells me they are an atheist or just non-believers or anti-religious. That's another thing that's hard to work with in terms of spiritual connection, because people think that religion is the same thing as spirituality, which it is not. So let me not chase you away if you are an atheist. Just consider that my definition of spiritual is anything that's not physical. If you're thinking of someone, you're having a spiritual connection with them. If you are moved by a piece of artwork or music or a pet, or if you're remembering a place that you love or a memory that makes you feel so warm inside, you are having a spiritual connection with the past or another person or a pet or emotions and thoughts. You might even have a spiritual connection within your own body. Some people like to say we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. So I'm going to leave that part up to you. I don't take any stance on that. Now, the 4 doors of perceptual hypnosis are ways in which we have access to change ourselves or to influence others or to change others. They are all associated. They're all happening simultaneously. One always happens first, and then the others follow because they're associated and they're habitual. Now, if your physical response, let's take this one again. Physical response, you are responding to your environment. Hot or cold, comfortable or not. You can change your physical environment in your home. If you're having negativity in your life, change your environment. Go ahead and rearrange the furniture, put a new color on the wall, sit in a different area of the room. If you don't have the ability to change things drastically, then change where you sit or what you're looking at. Put new pictures on the wall. That part's easy enough. Do something to make yourself comfortable in your environment, because that's something that influences you all the time. You're going to want to have some good influences there. Now, thoughts, emotions, physical response, spiritual connection. Remember, they're all associated. That means that you can change any of the others, beginning with any one of these. If you want to change your thoughts and emotions, you can easily do it with your physical response. Get moving. If you get moving and start becoming aware of your body and taking good care of your body, you will be changing your thoughts and emotions. You will feel better. You will have more positivity in your life simply by getting into motion. And that is going to change your spiritual outlook, which changes everything. Let's say, for example, my client comes into my office and their complaint is chronic pain, or that they're smoking or overeating. By the way, the people who come in with presenting an issue, usually we don't end up working on that issue. We'll start talking about it. I'll ask a bunch of questions, and then they might say, you know what, that's not really the issue. It's really this. And that's what we end up working on. But anyway, let's say that we want to help somebody quit smoking or lose weight. We're going to begin with physical response because that's where their complaint is. But we can change that using thoughts and emotions or spiritual connection. I'm going to want to ask them a bunch of questions. One of the first questions I ask a prospective client is, do you love yourself? Some people are surprised by the question. They've never considered it. Other people can answer readily, yes, I do love myself. I'm going to ask, do you trust yourself? And do you trust other people? These are just little things to know. And how do you know? What's your mode, your way of being that lets you know if you have trust or love for yourself? I'm going to want to ask them about their daily habits, their habitual thoughts. I might not ask the question directly, but they will reveal it in the conversation. So here's where I'm getting to know how they are in the world, what their stance is, their position, right? Their viewpoint. I want to meet them there and see which is the access point I can use. We might start with physical response. In the area of chronic pain or recovering from surgery or recovering from injury, remember the sensation happens in the brain. It doesn't happen where the stimulus is. It's happening in the brain. This is where the nervous system picks up on what's happening. But the response or the pain or the sensation happens in the brain. If somebody's talking about chronic pain, I stop using the word pain. After the initial part of the conversation, I'm going to start referring to it as a sensation or perception or situation or circumstance. I'm going to ask them, I'm going to be distracting them away from pain into a way of looking at it that might be different. And then we're going to experiment with, what kind of pain is it? Forgive me. What kind of sensation is it? Is it sharp or dull? Is it sudden? Does it happen all the time? Can you be distracted away from it? Can you sleep? Does it wake you up from sleep? Is it present as soon as you awaken in the morning? All these things we're going to want to know so that they can begin to consciously transform how they're experiencing the sensation. Now, in terms of the 4 doors, you have access to change them when you are consciously aware of them. Most of the time, we're not consciously aware. The subconscious has taken over. You are in the matrix, my friend. The program has taken over. You're habitually thinking, feeling, perceiving, and praying or meditating on a certain idea. You're doing it habitually. You're not aware of it most of the time, for the simple reason that the conscious mind is such a small part of brain functioning. We think it's about 10 or 12%. The other 90% is your subconscious programming. It's not your fault. You created it subconsciously over many years. It's not good or bad. Let's get rid of the judgment about that. It's just what is. It's how you're built. If you could have built something more useful, you probably would have, but we're human, and that's what we do. Even in the case of experienced hypnotists, we still have our subconscious program that comes in every once in a while, or most of the time, as the case may be. So when you're looking to transform yourself, begin with one of these 4 doors: thoughts, emotions, physical response, spiritual connection. You're going to find that as you improve or develop or change things, you're going to become more influential to the people around you because they're going to notice a change. There will be a subtle or maybe not so subtle shift. You're going to be changing something about yourself, your way of being, your way of relating to other people. They're going to pick up on it. Consciously or subconsciously, they're going to be more attracted to you, your way of being, and they're going to want to know your thoughts, and they're going to warm up to you in a way that you maybe had not expected. So if you have had any good takeaway from this presentation, please hit the like button. Feel free to become a subscriber. Go ahead and leave a comment. I read the comment section, and share this with someone you love, okay? And I sure am happy that you watched all the way to the end, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next presentation. James Junta signing off. Take care.